He didn't deserve to die like that. They just let him suffocate.
On the night of September 5, 2019, Byron Williams, a 50-year-old black man, was riding his bicycle through the streets of Las Vegas. A routine ride, one he had taken many times before. But on this night, something was different. Las Vegas police officers spotted him and, citing a minor infraction, a missing bicycle reflector, attempted to stop him. Williams, aware of the dangers black men often face in encounters with law enforcement, ran. What followed was a deadly chase, a violent arrest, and an agonizing 2-minute struggle in which officers pinned him to the ground, pressing their knees into his back until he suffocated. His death, caught on police body cameras, was disturbingly reminiscent of a case that would shock the world less than a year later, the murder of George Floyd. Yet, in Byron Williams' case, there were no protests on a national scale, no officers held accountable, no justice served. The response from law enforcement was predictable. Initial reports claimed Williams died of a medical emergency. They downplayed the force used against him. But then, the body camera footage was released, exposing the truth. He had been suffocated, his life pressed out of him under the weight of the very people sworn to protect. The Williams family demanded justice. Civil rights organizations like the ACLU and Black Lives Matter called for accountability. But the system, as it had so many times before, refused to act. No officers were charged. The injustice remained unchecked. Byron Williams' story is part of a much larger crisis, one that stretches back decades, even centuries. The brutal policing of black communities is not new. From the early days of slave patrols to the modern-day racial profiling of black men like Williams, the cycle of violence persists. Las Vegas, like many other cities, has a troubling history of excessive force, particularly against people of color. Activists and scholars have pointed to systemic failures, to deep-rooted biases that allow cases like Byron Williams's to be dismissed, ignored, and erased. Byron Williams could have been any one of us, a man simply trying to get home, a man who feared what so many before him had suffered, a man who begged for breath and was denied it. As we reflect on his story, we must ask ourselves, how many more? How many more names must be added to the list before real change is made? Justice for Byron Williams was denied, but his story remains. And as long as it is told, as long as his name is spoken, the fight for justice continues.